Welcome to the Revolutionary Communities podcast. If you're an impact-driven company ready to boost sales and loyalty by valuing people, then you're in the right place. My name is Maruxa Murphy, your guide to building communities that resonate with your passion, vision, and purpose. Every week, I bring you game-changing strategies and revolutionary industry leaders who are blazing the trail with innovative, inspiring, and profitable communities. Having personally cultivated over 200 profitable communities just like these that generate 6 to 8 figures in additional revenue, I'll give you insights into creating unique and heart-centered community experiences. Today's episode, well, it's something that might just change your life. So settle in, enjoy, and let's dive into making our world a better place, one community at a time. Well, hello there. Maruxa Murphy here for another episode of the Revolutionary Communities podcast. And today, I'm so excited to be with you. What we're going to be diving into today is literally the number one reason most communities just flop all over the place, like a fish out of water. And it is because we don't have a lot of foresight and intention behind how we strategically build our companies. And from building our companies with a strategic plan, and specifically companies that are about community-based profit models, we don't know how to do it well. We don't know how to do it with intentionality. When 2020 happened, the pandemic happened, and so many of my friends who had live events started to have to shut down their companies. I found that what was the most supportive for them and what felt really compelling and something I really desired to do was to give lots and lots and lots of workshops away just because it was the right thing to do. And in those workshops, I'd share how to build community in the way in which I had done 100 times before between the years of 2000 to 2020. And what I found very quickly was, of course, yes, I grew, we tripled our company that year. But what I found very quickly was that there were a lot of incredible visions that were wanting to be born, but they were all over the place. You had some of our communities that wanted to be born. Some of our clients at the time came to me and said, hey, I have a Facebook group and we want to monetize. And then another one would come to me and say, oh my gosh, I have all of these incredible fans and community members already. And what do I do with them now that the pandemic's underway? And then you'd have another one that wanted to start changing out their lead generation strategy and try to figure out how to build community with it. And the truth of the matter is that there are so many beautiful ways in which to create community. But if you don't know which path you need to take to build your community, you're just going to go aimlessly somewhere, right? You won't know exactly where to grow and build. So back in 2020, I made the choice to actually slow down my growth for a minute so I could really begin to systemize my community processes at a whole other level. And what I mean by that is literally my first 100 communities I designed were based completely intuitively on how to bring people together, how to create places of belonging that were also just so happen to be places where money was exchanged for value, and they turned profitable, right? They were profitable communities. So it was very intuitive for me to do so. So I literally gave myself permission to take some time during 2020, the summer of 2020, and really begin to dissect the first 100 communities that I took from vision into 6 figures, 7 figures of revenue, and started to understand, okay, well, what made them work? What made them not work? Which ones that were kind of flops, or which ones did I try that just didn't work? Because not all of them went directly to 6 or 7 figures, right? Or even 8 figures. And so I wanted to understand. So I literally gave myself permission to reverse engineer my brain and figure out how to understand which ones to how would I teach someone this and want to scale that? So from that, I actually realized that there were really, at the end of the day, only five, meaning like one hand, one 5-finger hand, straight up, models. That's it. 5 models, some 5 what I call profit paths, that if you were to utilize one of those profit paths and follow the systems and have the processes in place to build out those 5 profit paths, then you would more than likely have a very successful community that also is very profitable. Now, in the previous episodes, you've learned about the Sacred Four. You've learned about our transformed community paradigm. This one, I'm actually going to dive into the part of the transformed community paradigm, which dives into our profit paths, those 5 particular areas. So each of these, I want you to listen to them. Feel free to take notes, no big deal, and understand, really start to see like why they're different and which of these would be most appropriate potentially for you, right? So let's go through them. The first one is what I call the endorsed community, the endorsed community. Now, the endorsed community is a kind of community built around somebody who has a lot of influence in a space, but doesn't necessarily have their own products and services. You can think of influencers, you can think of celebrities. In this category, they have a huge following, but they don't necessarily have their own products and services. So how do they make money? Right? So the plan here with an endorsed community profit path is to be able to start building people around a specific topic or around a specific conversation or interest that really speaks and is aligned with that influencer or celebrity. And when you do, you build revenue streams in through affiliate products or joint venture opportunities with brands, brand sponsorships, right? Maybe co-branding a product for an existing brand that's already an authority in their space. So when you start to think of it from that perspective, your community now gets to be served and supported by those revenue streams that you're building bridges with between you, if you're the influencer or the celebrity, and those brands. Now, the power of this is that these brands get a potentially completely new audience, because you're the one who's been creating the audience, but they are now getting access to new buyers. And the positive for you is that you get to make revenue, an additional revenue stream in partnership with brands who will then support the fulfillment for those products, for those said products. That is incredible. You don't have to worry about necessarily marketing those products ongoing, any customer support issues, making sure fulfillment is taken care of. It's kind of a dream for those who are really good at aligning around a specific interest and have built a large following. So endorsed communities, those would be some of the profit drivers within an endorsed community. And the goal for endorsed communities is to not just drive people to those revenue streams that you are setting up for yourself, but you're also really wanting to build in a long-term relationship with these individuals. It's pretty cool. So from there, we want to think about our second profit path. Our second type of profit path is what I call an engaged profit path. Now, in this kind of experience, in this kind of community, the intention here is to build an audience and then ultimately a community around something that really matters to you, something that you are working on, are talking about. Let's imagine you're a dog trainer and you're wanting to build a community of people who have specifically mutts, right? Mixed breed dogs, right? Mutts. And you want to work with them specifically in your dog training business, and you want to have them all gather together. So they come together because they're interested in that particular topic, and you're the person that's the host of the room. The intention here is to build a long-term relationship with them. You're here to not just do that, but you're providing some incredible value to this community. It's a phenomenal way to turn people who are potential prospects for your trainings, for your services, to be in space and time with you and get to know you, understand you as the expert on this particular topic. So I love engaged communities for bringing people together, hosting the quote unquote party, and inviting them into deepening their understanding, their transformation, their need for your service with you, because you're the one whose party they attended, right? Now, these communities are fantastic as free Facebook groups. They're really great as well in like a WhatsApp thread, like if you want to do a WhatsApp group or a Slack group, and they're really, or Discord group, they're really typically free communities that you then want to invite people in to talk more about the thing, whatever your thing is, and then invite them on the back end to purchase your products and services. These are great communities for people who have their own products and own services. It could be an e-commerce company. We've worked with multiple e-commerce brands to really support those brands to begin to thrive with their products and services and get people to keep buying more of their products and services. It's great if you have a membership platform, because now you're inviting people on the front end to start to hear more about your products and services, and then you invite them on the back end to whatever it is that you're selling to them, and they want to stay into your community even further. And it's also great for people with services that want to teach the basics, different angles, different experiences, or people who are hosting speakers, guests, podcasts on a regular basis, and you want a front-facing community. So I love, love, love these. The goal there is that from a revenue stream, profit path side of things, is you want to now move people into whatever it is that you're selling. It's really great to sell something that's under $1,000 in this current market. And so it is as a front-facing product, and you invite them to almost like taste test what it is you're about, and then you move them up the value ladder into other products and services that you offer later on. So that, in a nutshell, is your engaged community profit path. The third kind of community is what I love to call an excite community. Excite communities are your small but mighty transformations. These are the kinds of communities that are really meant to give them a small win. But it's such a mighty win, even though it's small, that people get so excited about it, they want more. It's like giving them like a little taste, little sample sized ice cream at the ice cream shop, right? So you're tasting the flavor. Do I like being around this person, this personality, this software, etc.? And these are fantastic to host as challenges, as workshops, as live events, right? These are short, small, but mighty communities that are short term. They have one outcome, and then you move them into a much deeper relationship with you, because they're now invested more into their own transformation or the value that you've already given them, and want more. So that is our Excite community. Love, love, love these communities. They have a massive conversion rate because people come in wanting to get transformation, and when they leave and they have that transformation, they now want it from you because you helped them in this initial transformation. So conversions tend to be really high when you build out Excite communities with a very deep intentionality around it and strategy. The fourth type of community is a community that I love to call the Educate community. And Educate community is a community that really is often on the back end of a paid program, a paid product, a paid service. If you're a SaaS company, this is fantastic to continue to serve and support your clients on the back end. So, a lot of, if you're a coach, if you're an entrepreneur with or an expert who has a product and service, this is a fantastic way to really begin to love deeply your people. And when I say that, I'm talking very much about making sure that your people feel are sacred for, are safe, seen, heard, honored, and respected. These are the people that have already invested in you or invested in your company. And we want to make sure we deepen that relationship, continue to increase the lifetime customer value, continue to provide massive value to the people that are there and that you're serving. And when you do that, people want to stay. People want to stay, or they want to refer you, recommend you to their peers, to their friends that are also maybe in need of that same solution. So the profit path here is to provide such value and in such a way that people want to increase and continue to invest in the work with you and stay maybe for a second year. If you're in a year-long program, stay in for a second year. Or continue on month over month if you have a membership program or a SaaS company with monthly payments, or if you have a one-time product with a community on the back end, they want to continue to deepen into your next product or service or program. So those would be some of the things I would really recommend. Now, if you have like an e-commerce brand and you want to use more of an educate community, I love that. We actually have worked with in the past a company that was selling healthy products, right? Like healthy food products. And one of the things they did is they put an educate community on the back end, and they provided that community of members, the people that bought their products every single month. They provided them with an online community that was only available to those who have purchased their products already at least once, and gave them recipes, gave them education, private interviews with experts in their space. And it really began to create this beautiful connection between them and them as the brand with their customers. And they saw an increase in the lifetime customer value. Or initially, people were buying about $60 worth of their product. When they finally implemented an educate community on the back end, they saw a massive increase in their lifetime customer and in their AOV, and then obviously their lifetime customer value. And their average order value went from about $60 to close to $85 per order, because we were giving them other opportunities to imagine how else they could use these products in their recipes. So you can do some really unique things, just it takes a little creativity. But educate communities are the best thing you can do to continue to provide powerful amounts of value to your customers. Now, the final community is what I call an evangelist community. These are really where your raving fans like to hang out. These are your people that love to promote you because they see your value as absolutely necessary in the world. And the thing about evangelist communities, I think we often think like, oh, we could just have a whole bunch of affiliates in a room. But the thing with evangelist communities, it actually takes people who have made the choice to become an affiliate of yours, and you're giving them space to be seen, safe, heard, honored, and respected as part of your company. And when you do that and you give them specific tools, trainings, maybe discounts for trying out your products for the first time, things like that, they get much more engaged to how to be able to share it, sell it, and promote it for you and in partnership with you, right? You also get their feedback to improve your products and services, which is absolutely invaluable. That is one of the things that we love doing in evangelist communities, because they're going to tell us what's working, what's not working, so that they can continue to sell it and be the best evangelists for the brand as they possibly can be. So we want to love them well, very, very well, and help them be the best salespeople for the rest of our company. So as you can see there, I just listed 5 different community types. And I wanted to share that with you and just give you some detail around them, because I wanted you to see, my hope was that you see that each of those types of communities, when you have intentionality behind them, have a whole different strategy as to how to generate revenue, right? Whole different strategy. And when you know which one or which ones are going to be appropriate for you in your company, then you can make more intentional strategic decisions on how to grow your company. So highly suggest that you check out our page, revolutionarycommunities.com/podcast. We're going to be adding resources in there to better support you, to be able to take what you learned on today's episode and begin to apply it in your life. In fact, you'll get access there as well to a quiz that we created so that you can begin to figure out, well, if I'm, this is where I'm at right now in my company, what kind of a community do I need to be building? We have a quiz to help you figure out which of those 5 profit paths is the right one for you. So go to revolutionarycommunities.com/podcast. You'll see this episode on that page, and in our show notes, you'll have access to receiving the quiz. Thank you so much for being on with us on this episode. So glad to be here with you. And I look forward to seeing you in our next episode. See you soon. And that wraps up another enlightening episode of the Revolutionary Communities podcast. Remember, it's not just about building communities. It's about sparking movements and echoing change across the globe. I'm Maruxa Murphy, reminding you that every voice matters, every story is significant, and your vision can truly make the world a better place. If today's insights resonated with you, consider taking a bold step and implementing one idea into your community. Let us know about it by going to revolutionarycommunities.com/podcast. And there you'll be able to let us know what is sparking for you by joining our own Revolutionary Communities community. Together, we are stronger, and with unity, we can be the revolution. Until next time, keep leading with your heart, stay inspired, and never underestimate the power of genuine connection.